swelling, headache or a rash, asthma, colitis, fatigue, or gas. What will today's symptom be? My loopy life with lupus. Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of My Loopy Life with Lupus. And we're going to continue with Lupus Awareness Month. Thank you guys so much for watching yesterday's video. If you haven't watched it yet, please do check it out. I will put a link either on this video itself or in the down bar below so that you can check out yesterday's video. So yesterday I just touched upon basically what lupus is and some statistics about lupus, and so today I'm just going to briefly talk about what causes lupus and the symptoms of lupus. So today I will be using the Living Well with Lupus Facts book from the Lupus Ontario. This book is amazing, and I will be talking more about it later in some of my other videos. And so let's just get on with it. What causes lupus? The very short and basic answer is that the cause remains unknown. They really don't know what causes lupus. All they know is that in lupus, the immune system, which is the body's defense against viruses and bacteria, is unable to tell the difference between intruders and the body's own tissues. And then that results in the immune system targeting parts of the body, causing inflammation and creating the symptoms of lupus. Now, because lupus most often occurs in women of childbearing age, they do believe that there might be a link between lupus and hormones, but how this works still remains uncertain. They also, research has also kind of found that they do think genetic factors may make certain people more likely to develop lupus, but again, these factors are not fully known yet. They just have very vague ideas as to what the cause of lupus is. They really don't know what the cause of it is, but they do believe that hormones and genetics can play a part, but they don't know how. And also, it doesn't mention it in here, but I have also recently read that they also believe that environmental factors may play a part as well. But again, they don't really know how. We do know that things like stress can trigger lupus flares. But again, that's not the cause of the disease. It just triggers the disease to go into a flare. So, so that's pretty much all we have in terms of the cause of lupus. Basically, until science fully understands how the immune system works, the specific cause of lupus is unknown. But it is important to know that while lupus can be a serious condition, in most cases it can be treated and controlled. Not cured, but treated. And lupus can often go in cycles with periods of time in which the symptoms may disappear completely. Diagnosis and treatment are improving, allowing people with lupus to live increasingly active and productive lives. So things are slowly getting, you know, towards a good direction with that, but it still can be a very serious disease because you just don't know which part of the body it's going to attack and how it's going to attack it. So now getting into the symptoms of lupus. Basically, lupus is called the disease of 1,000 faces. And the reason they say that is because no two lupus patients are exactly the same in their experience with lupus. No two patients present the exact same way, which again makes it really difficult in diagnosing. So each person's experience of being diagnosed, treated, and living with lupus will be very different. Lupus can target any of the body's tissues. It's often hard to diagnose. There are many symptoms people with lupus experience, and that is why it's called the disease of 1,000 faces. And so this is from a complete list of symptoms. Also, some findings are apparent only in blood tests. Thus, the diagnosis of lupus must be made through a doctor, most of the time a rheumatologist. So, a person with lupus may experience some of the following symptoms. And again, these are just like some of the symptoms. I know lots of lupus patients that have all kinds of weird symptoms that quite often can't even be explained. I've had symptoms sometimes that my doctor's like, well, that doesn't look like anything lupus, but we don't know what it is. And so there's a lot of weird things that happen that the doctors really have no explanation for. And whether it's lupus, whether lupus is causing the symptom or not, sometimes you don't even know. But basically these, I guess, are like the most common symptoms. So a person with lupus may experience joint pain, sometimes with swelling, a red rash across the upper cheeks and bridge of the nose, which I mentioned yesterday. It's called the butterfly rash because it looks like a butterfly. Extreme fatigue, an unusual reaction to sunlight, a red scaly skin rash, small ulcers inside the nose and mouth, which I have been dealing with ulcers on my tongue now for, I would say, over a year, maybe longer. But yeah, I would say at least over a year. And I have some on my tongue today. I don't know if you can see them, but they're there. Chest pain, worse when lying down or inhaling. Swelling of the feet and legs, seizures or severe neurological symptoms, and hair loss. So those are like the common kind of symptoms and things like that. And in diagnosing lupus, my understanding is that the doctor has to look at your history of symptoms and other illnesses. They also look at the symptoms you currently have, and they also do blood work. A lot of the blood work, though, isn't like a for sure diagnosis. A lot of times lupus doesn't even show up in blood work. So it's not the most reliable source, but it's like a tool in helping with the diagnosis. So I think you have to meet, there's like a criteria of like 11 things that the doctor looks for lupus. And if you meet, I think 4 or more of those, then they diagnose you with lupus. And one of the criteria is a positive ANA, but again, you can have lupus and have like a negative ANA. So it's not the most reliable thing. So they have to compile it with everything else that's going on. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you again for watching. And also, don't forget that we have these t-shirts that are raising money for lupus. And all the proceeds from the sales of these shirts go to Lupus Ontario. And you can purchase them in the shop that is in the description below. There'll be a link there for you guys to click on to go and buy your shirts. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.